morning, everyone, and or good afternoon. I guess it's way afternoon. Where I'm a little late today, and again, I'm by myself. Mike is with Billy going to Kingfisher to pick something up, so it's just me and Connor in here today, and we've just got done cleaning and everything. So just bear with me a little bit. I didn't know I was doing the live by myself again today, so I kind of was in a panic pinch of what to do, but. Um, the Lord is faithful, and he brought Ephesians 6 to or Galatians 6 to mind, um, and in on my Bible app it is titled "We Harvest What We Plant." Um, Justin Todd Hara did a great message on reaping and sowing, and I just want to kind of go ahead and go through with that a little bit. And it says, "Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back onto the right path. And be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourself. Share each other's burdens, and in this way obey the law of Christ. If you think you are too important to help someone, you are only fooling yourself. You are not that important." And that's kind of what I want to talk about today, is bearing one another's burdens. I've gotten a ton of bad news this morning. Some families that are just very near and dear to my heart have gotten some really devastating news this morning. But even in all of that, I want to share their burdens and I want them to know that I love them and that I care about them, and that we can get through this together, because God is a good God. Even in the bad, God is a good God. But we have to be really careful. It says in verse 3, if you think you are too important to help someone, you're only fooling yourself. The way that we act and the way that we treat people speaks so loudly about our character. As as I've gone through this week and listen to JT talk and just all of the things that he's taught us this week, the reaping and the sowing just kept coming back to me and coming back to me and coming back to me, and made me do a really deep soul check. What am I sowing? Am I sowing good seeds? Am I sowing good into people? Am I thinking I'm better than others and can't help others? I don't ever want to be that person. I want to be able to help anybody and everybody that comes into my life. Then I do also have to learn that sometimes those burdens are not mine to bear. That cross isn't mine to bear. And sometimes I get too overwhelmed with other people's issues and don't know where to draw that line, not to be burdened by it. But I know that God will get us through these times that we're facing. When we look at the world and all the things that are going on, if we would just lift one another up, if we would just encourage one another, and if we would just help one another, when we see someone who's struggling with something, we should be the first to step in and say, "Here, let me help you with that. Here, let me do this for you," or "Here, let me help." And sometimes I know it's hard, because we get so hard-hearted sometimes towards people, because we've been done bad so many times, or we're afraid somebody is gonna use us or whatever. But even if they are, just do it anyways, because that's what God would have us to do. And don't do something because you expect something in return. Just do it because you want to. Do it because that's what the Lord laid on your heart. Some days it's hard. Like I said, I know a lot of people have burned bridges and hurt you or whatever, but there is still good in the world, and we need to be that good. And I think that's the thing that Jesus is calling us to through this whole pandemic, through all of this that has happened, is that he wants us to be the good in the world. He wants us to show ourselves true to this world, show himself true to this world. He wants us to be the Jesus that some people may be the only Jesus they see. And that's very hard when you look at someone's lifestyle and think, well, but they've been living that lifestyle and they don't want to change, they don't want to do anything. It doesn't matter, help them anyways. And I'm preaching to myself today, because like I said, I received a ton of bad news this morning. But I still know in all of that, God is faithful and God is good, and God is going to get us through this. So again, if you think you are too important to help someone, you are only fooling yourself. You are not that important. Now, each one of us is very important to God. JT did a very excellent message for our youth last night, talking about the birds of the air, and that the Lord knows, and how the Lord showed his son with 2 sparrows that had fallen out of a tree, how the Lord showed his son how good he is. Not all of us are going to have that kind of experience, but it's in the still whispers of the wind, the still quiet moments when we're alone. Let the Lord just speak to your heart. Let him open the sadness, let him open the bitterness, let him open the hardness, and let him replace it with him, his love and his goodness and his kindness, because that's who he is and that's who he wants us to be. We're to be examples of Christ, and we need to be doing that on a daily. So that's my quick and short version today. I just want to encourage you, if you have a need, please do not hesitate to reach out to the church office, 918-399-5956. If we can help you in any way, please allow us to do so. And if you have a need and just want someone to pray with you, call us and we'll pray. We'll do whatever we can to help you. That doesn't mean that we have $1 million laying around that we can just go throw, at your problem, because we can't. We don't have the finances to do that, but we'll help you in any other way we can. So be sure and remember that you harvest what you plant. If you plant watermelon seeds, you're going to get watermelons. If you plant tomato plants, you're going to get tomatoes. If you plant goodness, kindness, you're going to get back goodness, kindness. But if you plant discord, hateful, mean, that's what you're going to get back. So just be careful in what you're planting today. I encourage each and every one of you today to join us this Sunday, 9 and 11, regular service times. Come out and hear a good word. And I will just quickly go over our sponsorship because Connor's got to get out of here, so I got to be quick. Genesis Home Health, Sweet Perks, coffees, cookies, sandwiches, and more. We just actually came from there, had a cinnamon roll. It was so good. I know, cinnamon roll for lunch, not the best thing, but that's what I wanted. Dan and Teresa Webb, Uncle Dan's Barbecue Sauce and Sloppy Joe Sauce, Ventress Farrier Service, Daveco Fab, Cloud Land Services, Marshall Dillon's Plumbing, Green Construction, Turnbow Trailers, Parco Tax, Muggsy's Grub House, Extra Oilfield Service, Marshall Timmons Insurance Agency, Bunker Hill, Surplus Firearms, Ammunition, and Reloading, and our individual donors, Nicole Nordahl, the Watkins family, Ronald Hinman, Jeff and Laura Morphew, Bob and Gina Biswell, Brian and Patricia Eastman, Zach and Lauren Heppensberger, Ed and Donna Bays, Don and Sheila Ferris, Howard and Janice Clark, Gina Hendricks, the McIntyre family, Gordon and Dee Kennard, and Bill and Luana Spade. We just want to thank you all so much for sowing into our ministry, into this ministry, and we just ask if you are considering and you've thought about it and then you've put it on the back burner. If you want to partner with us, please just reach out to us. We'd love to have you come on board with us. It will just continue to help us to be able to reach out and do more. Also, if you have any questions about any upcoming events, please visit www.ccc-ok.net. That's our website. It also has a donate button on there if you'd like to donate. We'd be ever so thankful for that. And again, if there's anything that we can do for you, 918-399-5956. Thank you, and God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. We won't be on tomorrow, and we will not be on Monday either, as the office is going to be closed on Monday. So thanks again. Have a great weekend.